Hello, it's the Wednesday, and we are back with another video. What are we doing today?
So the EFF was recently in Eldorado Park having a manifesto meeting,
Okay.
and Julius was asked a very interesting question. Let's just check out this clip first,
Okay.
and then you tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
What would be the EFF's taking to go into an alliance with Mkhonto Wesizwe party? Because I know the buck starts here and it stops there. Thank you.
Danke, Miles.
We said you before. Where is Miles? Before you spoke, when you said, "I hope you are not gagging me," he said, "Miles is MK, and you go exactly there. What is the alliance? What will be the alliance between MK and the EFF?" We absolutely have no problem with President Zuma doing what he's doing. He's got a political right to do that. And we are not far apart with MK when it comes to policies. We speak land, we speak empowerment of our people, we speak the restoration of the economy into the hands of the rightful owners. And that President Zuma, before he went to launch the party on the 16th of December, I would have met him around the 11th or 12th of December, where we spoke about these matters. And he explained to me what is his movement forward. So we agreed to meet after the elections and see how the two organizations can carry each other forward, because the unity of purpose is very important.
So what are your thoughts on all of that?
That's a lot, eh? That's a lot. So, very interesting question that he asked there. And he asked a question that is on a lot of people's minds. People that are for that alliance and people that are against it. It's an alliance of interest. It's, like people are quite interested in what would come of that, or if that there's a possibility of that happening, you know. I think, EFF and MK supporters are actually for that more than like the leaders maybe even see that, if you get what I mean. Or like people on the outside, let me just say, are the ones that have, like, they've been seeing how that would be such a beautiful marriage if those two actually, come together. Because I think people think that the policies or their policies are very much aligned, which he also did mention, Julius, that a lot of their policies are aligned. And I feel that might be the perfect balance. I feel like though each one has something to sort of balance the other one out.
So this is very interesting that Julius met up with Zuma before he launched MK.
Very interesting, huh? Very interesting.
They discussed Zuma's mission going forward, and it seems like Julius agrees with his mission.
His mission, absolutely.
They both want the same thing, which is land, liberation, economic power,
yes,
and so forth. They both want the same thing. They're just going about it differently. But at the end of the day, they both want the same thing. And this is one of those worst case scenarios for opposition parties like the DA and the people in the multi-party charter.
Yes.
They call it the Doomsday scenario.
Yeah.
Where if the ANC would need to partner up with either the EFF or MK.
That's what I'm saying. If that coalition or that alliance happens, it would probably fall more to the ANC side rather than, partnering up with the other opposition parties.
Yes, it's like this is the thing, and this is the thing that I've come to the realization as well, is that the EFF is the ANC Youth League.
Yes.
Just in red.
And Jacob Zuma is also
Mkhonto Wesizwe is the ANC.
Is the army or the military.
Mkhonto Wesizwe is the military arm of the ANC.
Of the ANC. That's what I was thinking. Like, it's basically the ANC. So, but besides that, they might have been the missing element to ANC.
No, there's no missing element. So
or it's just a matter of same difference.
So these splinter parties that splintered from the ANC have gone on to form like their own
parties.
Yeah, their own like followers supporters
Yes.
and voter base.
which are broken away from the ANC.
Yeah, basically eating away at the ANC's voter base. And EFF has been doing very well in the last 10 years. We still
Yeah.
yet to see how well MK is going to do, but people are projecting that MK is going to do very well.
Very well.
And the doomsday scenario for the likes of the DA is ANC partnering up with MK or
Partnering up with
EFF, or ANC partnering up with EFF and MK.
I feel like that's their biggest fear. But
So,
like either one.
Yeah,
of
John
those-
Steenhuisen calls it the doomsday scenario. Basically, he feels like if that was to happen, then the country would be lost for good.
Yeah, because there's no doing away with the ANC after that.
Yeah,
You know, like now it's like now we've just sealed our fate. Instead of, you know, they are the ones that gathered the lost sheep, you know, and then brought them back.
so it's like
I was stuck forever.
so it's so MK's policies align with EFF's policies,
Yeah.
which also align with the ANC's policies.
Yeah.
It's just that
Do
the
their
ANC.
doomsday prediction sort of paint that things will go worse in terms of corruption?
Yes, it's just ANC plus.
Yeah.
So as I was saying that all these three parties, their policies align, and basically the ANC lack the political will
Yeah.
to implement these policies.
So do you think that MK and EFF might lose their mandate or whatever? Should the moment that they start being in a coalition with the ANC, that they'll no longer have these missions that they want to achieve?
It's ANC plus.
So do you think there's a bigger chance of them actually seeing it through if they join the opposition parties? Do you think maybe
they
in
don't
that
align.
case they don't align, of course?
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if you're
they
voting
don't.
for MK, if you're voting for EFF, if you're voting for ANC,
That's a one side.
yes, but it's these all three of these parties want
Talk
the same
the
thing.
same story.
Yeah, they talk the same story.
Except the one hasn't been doing anything for the past.
But this
Well,
is
not
this is probably the best case scenario for the ANC specifically, because the ANC lost two of its best politicians. So
Yeah.
right now the ANC is basically the most famous politician in the ANC is Cyril, and Cyril's not that popular
He's
right
not
now.
that guy.
And Zuma and Malema are better politicians than Cyril
Yeah.
are. And for the ANC to partner up with either or both of them
Is a
to
win.
bring them back is a win for the ANC, because
Yeah.
you're bringing back two of your best politicians
Along with the followers.
with the following and the supporters to work with the ANC. So depending on how things go, if the EFF and MK decide that they're gonna do a coalition in some sorts and then work with the ANC as well to get like 2/3 majority, because some people predict that MK plus EFF plus ANC is 2/3 majority.
Yeah.
That's basically ANC plus.
The thing that is striking to me is that at its peak, the ANC was around 2/3. If you now add up the three parts of the ANC family, which is ANC, EFF, and MK, they come to 2/3. So what has happened is that party is split into three.
We might potentially be getting more of the same,
Yeah.
but slightly
Different.
better in the fact that Julius has his ways of
Holding
Julius
people
has assembled a party of competent people who
Yes.
might be able to
Yes.
govern
make a change.
and make a change, and
Who are serious about it change.
Yeah, and-
I also believe that in EFF has really assembled people like that.
and then MK, we don't really know what's happening with the MK,
Yeah.
but Zuma's there, so with Zuma anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the opposition parties feel like this is doomsday, because getting Zuma back with the ANC and then having Julius
But
back.
then I feel like the EFF will definitely still have something to prove within that alliance.
we don't. You see,
I feel like it. Like I know there is that attitude of like, oh, it could be just, they just want seats and whatever. But to this, I do kind of feel like they'll try and small boy the ANC people. That's what I see the EFF doing. And with that, I feel like they'll actually be doing stuff. So that might be to our benefit that they do that.
My thing that brings about the worry is that Julius, the political leader of EFF, comes from the ANC. The political leader of MK comes from the ANC.
Yes.
The
But
ANC
didn't he leave because he no longer agreed with a lot of the things of theirs?
Well, yeah, but
And formed his party because he was serious about a change. So maybe he might still maintain that. And
the thing that puts me off about Julius is that he lives the same lifestyle as any other ANC minister. That's what puts me off about Julius. It's like, yeah, you talk that talk, but the way you living, it's very.
So
it's
maybe
the same
he
way-
can argue that he
yeah.
wants his people to get to that level.
Nah, Julius, there's some contradictions in Julius. Like there was recently his son has a matric.
Yeah, I
Matric
saw that
dance
the
and
video with the
Very,
fancy cars
very
and
fancy,
fancy
very opulent.
lifestyle.
But he preaches to the people that you shouldn't be opulent, you shouldn't
Yeah.
be posting fancy things on
Yeah.
Facebook or whatever.
Live a simple life.
Live a simple life.
Do not display opulence. Do not show off as a fighter that loves his communities. Some of you here, Facebook revolutionaries, I still want someone to educate me. I'm not on Facebook. Why do you take food pictures and put them on Facebook as a ground force, as a coordinator, convener, chairperson, secretary? Put them on Facebook coming from a poverty-stricken community. What must happen now? They will eat it from the Facebook. What do you seek to achieve with that? How does that benefit the EFF when you put ML, X5, my whip, showing your house in a country where people are homeless? How does showing a house going to help our people get houses? You must not leave here saying, no, he said we must not drive ML. No. Drive it. Don't show off. Do not display opulence.
But he's doing the opposite. So it's just things like that that put a lot of people off. Like if you just look at Julius, what he says and what he does is two different things. So if he joins forces with the ANC, we could expect more of the
But
same.
he'll argue like, so what? You want me to act poor? You want me to look poor? Whatever. The point is, I want us South Africans to
Practice what
look
you preach.
rich, to be, wealthy.
Practice what you preach, that's all.
And
If you say don't show off or don't post opulence online, then you also mustn't do the same. Just practice what you preach. You can't tell people to live a modest life, but you not live a modest life.
yeah.
It's,
So in all, are your sentiments aligned with John's that this is a doomsday situation for real?
the only hope that I have is that the EFF specifically, because for me, the Zuma and MK, they're just doing their whole thing just to gain political power.
Yeah.
And Zuma has a lot of court cases to fight.
Yeah.
So he needs to stay politically relevant to basically keep himself out of jail. I feel like that's why he's doing what he's doing. For Julius, I do feel like he wants to do what he's saying he wants to do. But the only thing that puts me off is that the lifestyle that he's living, if he gets enticed by the ANC, he might just
I don't think
be
so.
an ANC plus.
I don't think so. Honestly, I think Julius has learned, and like he has learned from that, like from his last, corruption situation. I feel like he won't want to set himself back because he's still fighting those allegations even now. He's still fighting, his good name because of that. So it's like, I don't think he'll want to taint his reputation again because of that with corruption. I am confident that he'll definitely he'll definitely be that element that holds the ANC accountable within. And I feel like his team is a strong team, just like you were saying. So they would probably be that, that working arm in
You don't know what will happen when people get faced with the opportunity of becoming millionaires overnight.
Yeah,
It's good that you have this optimism from Julius. Me, from what I'm seeing, I'm not really that satisfied with Julius. And on top of that, the big three parties for me are a no-go. For me personally, ANC, EFF, DA. Me personally, it's a no-go. And then if you want to include MK in that, because MK is just an extension of ANC as well, you can include them in that. I don't see much of a difference coming out of voting for those parties.
Yeah.
Because it's going to
You
be
know
more
what
the
I
same.
think though is that they're probably gonna be like pushing for that equality thing. But it's like, I hate that it's a matter of you have to support them now if you really want that equality so bad, but then it's not gonna come in a nice way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people feel like that they are our best shot in terms of equality, but then are we willing to like, you know, take everything else that's gonna come with it? I don't know. Like, honestly, at this point, the only little bit of support I would have for these three are bringing about equality.
For me,
I'm just really sick of South Africa being, you know,
for me, it's going to be more of the same, especially if society in itself doesn't change. Like in the previous videos, we were saying that we need communities that are going to be about looking after themselves and holding politicians accountable.
Of course.
And also, until that happens. But anyway, you guys just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.